Welcome back, everybody, to the Birdies and Bourbon Show. Dan, I was a little worried coming down the stretch there, big guy. You're one and done. It looked like, your one and done still beat my one and done. But I was a little bit torn because I played Koepka in the Mayo Major one and done series, so I was wanting him to win. But then I'm thinking, well, shit, Dan played him in our one and done, and I'm like, there's more money in this one. So I was pulling for Brooksy. I can't lie. Let me rephrase it. I was pulling for Brooks, not Brooksie. So, but hey, congratulations to Jon Rahm, man. This is I think the second Spaniard to win a major, right? I do believe.
Yeah, you and I are talking. Yeah, go ahead. We and I were talking like a couple of weeks ago. Who's number one player in the world?
I got to give you some credit. You nailed it. I mean, I was a little skeptical in what Rahm was going to look like coming off of the shakedown on 18 at Memorial. Once again, it's like if they keep harassing that guy there, he is going to quit showing up to Memorial. It's like it's a sign. The writing is on the wall. But hey, I don't know. Maybe karma has turned. John said it himself. I believe in karma, and I don't think karma paid off. I think that all those other players sucking it up paid off. What about Louis Oosthuizen? 18th hole.
Hold on, on the Rambo. I've been traveling. I had some family stuff I had to do or whatnot, so I got a chance to watch it, but I haven't gotten a chance to listen to too many takes like on the Golf Channel or on like PGA Radio or anything like that. But I can only imagine, and if they're not, shame on them, because I want the cheesy radio guys of like, Jon Rahm has finally tested positive to be the U.S. Open winner.
Oh, that's good. Definitely. Hey, cut that clip. Cut that clip. We're like 3 minutes in. Cut that. No, for sure, man. I mean, I don't know. I did see. I was going back and I'd see where I was ranked at in that in the majors one and done, and a lot of people felt confident that Rahm was going to pull it off. A lot of people had him picked as the winner. So I was a little reluctant. I don't know why. I mean, he shoots opening day 69, 70, 72 on Saturday, but then he comes back with a 67 on Sunday. I mean, that guy was just dominating. I think Patrick Reed had the low round on Sunday, I believe. Nevertheless, I mean, that was quite he tied, actually. There were three: Brandon Grace, Jon Rahm, and Patrick Reed shot 67. So But yeah, man, I was excited to see him win it. It was a little awkward at the end. They had because it's right by the naval base there in San Diego, so they were going to do the flyover, and Rahm's standing there, and you've got the USGA commissioner over here, and they're hold on, we got a flyover, and they're waiting. It's like, well, hold on. Let's go ahead and get the trophy handoff going. They're like, okay. And then they open back up again. Well, wait a minute. Here come the planes. So that start, stop. So, yeah, kind of like Jon Rahm's past couple of weeks probably. So I don't know. Maybe the break, gave him a little patience, as Axl Rose would say. But
that putter came alive. Right? 17 and 18, right? It's like, holy cow, that is a champion putter right there.
Yeah, it was clutch for sure. I mean, he did not. I'll say I didn't really see him falter at all on the back nine. So he definitely looked good and well deserved, especially after what happened to him. So I'm glad he bounced back. Put all the naysayers aside. I guess Jon Rahm did he move to number one in the world? Do we know?
Yes, he did.
Thought he did. Because boy, DJ, once again, man, he's just out there kind of hum-hawing around through the golf course. We'll talk a little bit more about him.
You think he's going to be throwing darts? You know how like Koepka was throwing darts at Brady DeChambeau, right? Right? Yep. Do you think that Rahm has a Amanda Balionis dartboard?
Ooh, it's possible. It's possible. I don't
know. She delivered the bad news last year at Muirfield, and then somebody else did it this year, or maybe just a CBS dartboard. How about that?
He's probably got multiple pictures up there. Porter's up there, Immelman's up there, Balionis. Oh yeah, he's just he's sticking them all, man. He's sticking them all. He's probably like double fisting. He's probably throwing two darts at a time.
Right, and then we always joke about Stewart Cink and his schedule, right? So, Ricky Fowler needs to be on the Stewart Cink schedule. Do you think Jon Rahm's going to be on the NBC schedule?
I don't know why he wouldn't. The good news about Rahm, he didn't have to listen to any of that damn commentary over the weekend. Holy! Yeah. Let me put it like this: if you go back and you rewatch any clips, put it on mute, put your earbuds in, put some music on, turn our podcast on, for crying out loud. I mean, even our podcast is better than this NBC stuff they had going on. Man. It was a little, and don't get me wrong. I don't want to say their job's hard, but you've got a lot of lag time during these things, right? Where you got to come up with something to say, but it is your job to come up with something to say. So you would think that they would kind of have that down. I mean, they've got writers, for crying out loud. I mean, we're making this shit up off the cuff. So it was if they did anything, they made CBS look good. Let me put it like that. So that was probably the. Probably. And again,
my comment about Rahm isn't that the big broadcast is just bad or good, because he can't hear the broadcast. He just doesn't want to get kicked in the nuts as he's coming off 18.
Exactly. It's like, why is he playing? He's been playing so fast until he got to 18, and it's like, well, his round could be over. It could be over. Could be over. Yeah, it's like third time's a charm, right? But yeah, great tournament. I thought it was that course, you could tell they were not watering that thing, man. It was definitely turning brown towards the end. They were, here's the other thing to kind of consider. I mean, you saw a lot of folks that were kind of missing, like 17. They were intentionally missing to the right where the fans were kind of walking. It's trampled down. It was crispy over there. So, definitely a difference in the U.S. Open this year versus last year and what we saw from a rough standpoint. So let's see. So let's talk about Louis O for a second. That guy is just made. He's made to be a top 5 contender in the majors. So he hits one left on 18. He has to drop it. Either way, he's got to make birdie for the tie. Okay, so hits it out of bounds or hits it in the hazard, takes the drop, and it's like, well, do I go for it or do I lay up? Do I go for it or do I lay up? It doesn't matter. You always go for it, even if he bogeys. No matter what, even if he misses it short and he bogeys, he is still solo second. I don't know why his caddy let him hit that shot. I don't know. I mean, that's one where I think the bag man has got to be like, whoa, you got to have this stuff. You've got to have it running through your head that if you don't hold this out, you're solo second. If you go for it and you miss it, hey, make your bogey anyway. You're solo second. It was only the risk was not going for it. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he was feeling the pressure, if he, because he had he lost some strokes there. I think he stated that he's a leaderboard watcher, so he knows what's happening. He knows what he's got to do. Clearly, he wasn't watching the leaderboard close enough, and I'm not bashing his caddy. I'm just saying it to me, and I've never been in a pressure situation like that. But I think that's one of those times where both of those guys have to be kicking themselves in the ass. And even if you got to have confidence, you're a professional player, you're a PGA professional, you have to take the chance in that scenario. I mean, even if he double bogeys, I mean, shit, you're still going to have a top 10. I mean, is there a money difference? Yeah, there is. But I don't know that second gets him anything more than 5 does outside of the money. And I mean, is Louis really that worried about the money and what the difference is? I don't think so. I don't know why he made that decision. I didn't hear any commentary on it, but I'll be interested to hear what his response is as to why he made that decision.
Well, it just kind of makes me think that maybe Louis should cut another one of those videos where he's singing on the plane, And it needs to be, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't. Good tournament for
He's
Louis,
Mr. T2, man. He's Mr. T2. He is Mr. T2. So, I guess all he does is watch Shrek 2 over and over again.
I suppose I can see why. The likeness there. Who else? Harris English, solo third. He had a heck of a Sunday. Decent, first 3 days, but a heck of a Sunday. Shoots a 68. Who's just some honorable mentions here? I don't know. Brooks is probably pissed if we mention him as an honorable mention at T4 with Colin Morikawa, but opening 69, closes with a 69. I actually thought that Koepka was going to catch him, man. I mean, that guy, he was full bore. I thought for sure he was going to be. I did anticipate at least a playoff, if not him pulling ahead. So I was surprised at the way Brooks was playing on Sunday. I really thought. I mean, obviously he had a chance. A lot of people did, but yeah, hey, look good out there, man. So much for that miscut at Palmetto. I mean, that was definitely planned. So nothing wrong with that guy's game.
For a moment there, I thought we were going to get like the karma that Rahm talks about. I thought we were going to get a Bryson Brooks playoff.
Absolutely. Well, here's the other shitty thing too. So both of those guys, so they had two chances. USG had two chances to pair them together. First, you could have had the past three Open champions in the first two days. And then on Saturday going into Sunday, both of them were sitting at even. You could have easily put them together. So that just going on the record, we will never see them paired together unless they are tied for first or it's 1 and 2. And you better sure as hell hope there's not somebody else tied for second, because if there are, that's who they're putting with him. That's got to be a solo first and second or T1 going into the round for us to see those guys together. And then at that point, I don't even know if they're not going to pull some kind of audible and be like, yeah, something came up. We're not going to, hey, test me for COVID. I'm feeling sick.
Exactly. With Brooks, this is the second tournament in a row that Brooks is kind of top 2, top 4 kind of thing, right? So he finished T4 here, he finished T2 at PGA.
Yeah.
And he was right there. And then last year at the PGA, he was he first going into the fourth round?
I believe so, yeah.
At Harding Park. So, man, this guy's just been right there. The consistency is just right there, and he's just got to convert. He's kind of that Rory range from early last year where he's like top 5 and everything and just couldn't pull it over the board. But Brooks is doing the same thing right now in majors, and I think he's got another couple majors in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Speaking of roars, outside of those 273s he shot, but he looked good, man. I thought Rory had a chance too. I mean, I expected, T7. Hey, it's nothing to laugh at, but I expected him to be, in contention coming down the stretch on the back 9. But who else? Xander, once again. I guess T7. Could you complain? No, not really. But again, you expect a little more out of him at his home course and home field. Who Scotty Scheffler looked on point. The Sauce Man, T13 coming in there. Oh, who I don't.
Yep.
If I say I felt bad for him, that wouldn't be a true statement. But he just shit the bed, man. Russell Henley shooting a 76 +5 on Sunday. Good Lord, what happened to that guy?
That's rough.
Yeah. Who I was. Well, let me ask you first. Who were you most surprised by overall for the tournament? And I know you had some you were spotty in what you watched, but just in the finish, right? In the final scoreboard, who were you most surprised by?
I'd say Bryson, because he was in first place and then he finished T26. I mean, that's just that back 9. How do you do that in the back 9? I have no idea. +6
on Sunday. Yeah, I was surprised too. I did not expect that in any. I didn't expect it, but that's not who surprised me most. Who surprised me most was your boy, the Wolfman. He came out howling, baby, howling. That guy. I mean, he shoots +3, finishes the tournament at +1, but he shoots an opening 70 at a 68. And this is, and he was pretty open, right? I mean, he was saying, hey, man, it's like this, it ain't easy out here. It's, the mental stress and anguish that this puts on you, it's real and whatever. Yeah, he said the right things, right? I mean, the scripted parts, but I guess I was excited to see because I really hadn't heard anything. You and I were talking last week, and I don't think you had heard anything either about, what mental. He had the wrist thing that happened, and he withdrew a few tournaments ago, and then we hadn't seen him since then. And, then he comes out about the mental health, et cetera. But I was really surprised. I didn't expect that. One, I didn't even know if we would see him play in the tournament. I was expecting maybe a withdrawal out of it. I'm not bashing the guy. I'm just saying, it's with not have seeing him, and I think the last tournament he played in, it was a WD. So, good stuff coming back from not playing for several weeks. So,
yeah, I was surprised by him too. I loved seeing it, and we're big fans of Matt Wolff. We at times can get critical because of hype or whatnot, because it's just a ton of hype behind him. And the big contracts with the endorsements, like, okay, well, show me what you got, kid, kind of thing. It's just in a good way. Like, I want to see him be competitive. We've been critical because it seemed at times, like at Rocket last year, that he was just kind of like, whatever. I don't really care. I give up. I called my golf coach, and I'm going back to that mindset, and I'll win when I win, kind of thing. And like you and I had said at the time, we're like, well, Tom Brady would never say that. Jon Rahm would never say that, right? I mean, Rory McIlroy would never say, that happened when it happens. Like, they want to win. And we talked to these players, and they want to win every time they go out there. And we weren't quite getting that from him, and it was a little bit not what we expected. But we love Matt Wolff. I want to see him play. That guy is a hell of a ball striker. Ball striker.
Yeah, for sure. So, based on what we saw, I think good things to come of him, right? I mean, put him on an easier golf course. Mackenzie Hughes.
Who knew Torrey had so many ice cream trucks?
I kept hearing in the background. Wind him up and let him go. Mackenzie Hughes +6 had a hell of a tournament up until opening 73, but 67, 60 over the weekend or Friday and Saturday, shoots +6. So, I think some of this was with a few of these guys is probably just inexperience. So, Henley, kind of those high pressure moments. Hughes. We did not get a back-to-back major winner in one Phil Mickelson firing an 11 over. I was maybe a little surprised that he actually played through the weekend. I thought that may be a miscut for him coming into this one, but no, he didn't. No, he had enough caffeine, coffee for wellness in the system to keep him going. I don't know who anybody.
I saw somebody put something on Twitter, and I was reading, somebody said something about I forget what they were talking about, and they said, "Well, is there going to be a Coffee for Wellness pop-up?"
Hey, if there's not, there should be. I can tell you that.
There should be.
There absolutely should be. Speaking of pop-ups, I popped up to Kentucky over the weekend. Did a little bourbon hunting, man. I scored some good finds, that's for sure. So I was excited about that. Yeah, this Heaven Hill 6-year-old 90 proof. They discontinued. Well, I shouldn't say discontinued. They relabeled, and that's now the new Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 7-year. And I thought most of this stuff was gone off the shelf, but I came back with about a case or so of it, and it does not disappoint. I can guarantee you that. So great.
Do you expect that the next time we see Victor Hovland go into the sand, he's going to have some of those goggles those basketball players wear?
It's very possible, and I posted on Instagram, birdies_bourbon, by the way, and I got a few responses back. Think about the last time they played a U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. The guy that won the friggin' tournament. Now, granted, it was Tiger Woods, so I'm not comparing Victor Hovland to Tiger Woods in any shape or form. But I am comparing the incident that occurred. So Victor Hovland, this was on, I think it was on Friday. And he's warming up. He's hitting out of the sand. And, of course, it's windy. It's right on the ocean, whatever. Some sand blows into his eyes. And don't take this and take it however you want to. I've definitely seen videos and posts of blind people playing golf. It's a legitimate thing. And I'm not talking about hacks like you and me. I'm talking about people that are breaking apart. Now, we don't see them necessarily on a PGA setup, but there are blind people that play golf, And here you've got a PGA professional. I'm like, shit, man, give the guy a line and let him go after it. If not, get Bucky on the phone and say, hey, we're sorry that we didn't fill this spot with you, Ricky Fowler, because Victor he's not cutting it. So I don't know. I get it. I mean, I've had sand in my eye before. I guess I haven't had it to the degree that it kind of shut me down. Don't they sell Visine in San Diego? I don't know.
I'll remind you what I think it wasn't it Bloodsport that he won the fight and he was blind at the end.
Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme, exactly. And that dude he was fighting was scary as hell. But so back to my point. I mean, Tiger. Not only did Tiger win the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines, he won it with a broken leg, and he had to play an extra 18 holes in a playoff to win it. So playoffs. I mean, it's like, come on, Victor, what are you doing? Hey, I spoke with the doctor, and the doctor thought it best that I didn't continue. I'm like, really? Like you go into like if you're in a chemical plant, and they've got those safety, the safety areas, like there's a chemical spill, and there's an eye wash, you got that where you put your face and it gushes you. I'm like, would it be that hard to get one of those on course? Go to the sink, for crying out loud, and splash some water. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was so weird that's what, and I get it. You could get sand in there. It could scratch the cornea. I mean, and then you just can't manage through it. I mean, but they make numbing eye drops. Numb the guy's eye. I don't know. Maybe it's not legal.
Good point. So it's like pitching wedge, check. Putter, check. Umbrella, check. Hazmat station, check.
No, but
I wash station.
Well, but here's the thing. I guess with COVID, he could wear one of those face shields that from this point forward. You get one of those that clip on. Ooh, a business idea. We'll get one of those shields that clip onto the hat that comes down. That way, maybe. Yeah, and they could use it multiple times a year. I think it's Rory, right? He usually has a rough time at Augusta if the weather's really nice because of all the pollen and all that, and folks that are wearing contacts out there. I mean, we may be onto something here.
We could get a face shield for the brim of your hat, and I think Bubba still wears Oakley glasses. Maybe if he doesn't, one of the other guys can wear the Oakley shield on there.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird, man. Anyway, a couple of the comments I got back from Twitter. One was that. Another one was, can you imagine what other athletes reading this are saying and thinking? I mean, think about football players. Even basketball players, for that, baseball players, you get hit with a ball, broken nose, and you're still coming back out on the field to play. I mean, it's like, that was a little, I don't know the condition. I'm not a doctor. Seemed a little prima donna to me, but we've probably given him way more time than he deserves on here. Hey, if you're gonna take a spot at the U.S. Open, I think you got to tough through everything. I mean, this is America. You got to tough through this thing. It's America. I mean, that was very un-American of him to pull out on this thing, man. Come on, what's he thinking? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably it for me in the U.S. Open. I thought it was a fantastic tournament. I thought it was a great ending. Good to see Rambo get his first major. Louis almost won. His first U.S. win on the PGA Tour was almost a major. We'll call him Louis almost Oosthuizen.
I was looking at my one and done this week, and I was trying to plan out like the next couple of events here. We got one more major this year, and I'm just thinking he's been so good. Have I used him? Where am I going to use him? I'm thinking, do I have him for the Open? I think that's my lean right now is Louis at the Open. Let's check here. I think I said that earlier. Yep, I got Louis at the Open. It's my lean.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one. Speaking of who's up and what's next.